TikTok suggested that creators take their individual accounts and different facets of their business and lives and merge them into a single account to form one overarching umbrella for everything to hopefully build everything up into a bigger platform that is more of a personal brand than anything else. I was one of the creators that they specifically asked to do this. If you've been following my journey, you know I've been working with them for many years. They brought me in paid capacities. They've had me work on different projects. I've done different workshops with them. So I have had firsthand contact with TikTok for a long time, and they specifically asked those creators to merge their things into one to form almost like a super personal brand with everything that they're doing, rather than having things diverged into multiple groups or niching down. So how has that worked out for me over the last couple of years? Because it has been a little bit since I merged my things together at their suggestion and their request. So, I'm a multi-time best-selling fiction author. I'm also a social media marketing educator and speaker. I took those two platforms that I had and I brought them together to form KM Robinson Life on TikTok. I used to be KM Robinson Books and KM Robinson Social and all of those things. I brought them all into one. So now instead of just talking about the book world, I'm talking about the book world, my books, author life, publishing. I'm talking about social media strategy, photo posing, self-portraiture. I'm talking about all those things for growing an online business all in one space. So did this work the way that TikTok thought it would? And did it work for a lot of other people? Because I have been watching and monitoring this for a lot of people. On occasion, if you're building a personal brand, it can work. But if you're running businesses, it may not be the best choice for you. So I merged my companies together under the umbrella of KM Robinson Life on TikTok. I now have all of those different facets, and I grew very, very quickly in different spaces. So when I had my author life, just my author life, I grew very, very quickly. I did a lot of different things. I had a lot of people coming in, a lot of involvement, a lot of really great stuff going on. On my social platform, I was not growing as quickly because I started that a little bit later. I focused on my author life first, and there were a lot of people talking about the same thing I was. And I was not niching down when I brought those things together. So I did not have that separation between those things. So now when people come to my platform, they're seeing that it is author life and my books and publishing and writing and all of those tips and tricks. They are seeing photography tips and tricks, and they are seeing business growth, social media marketing growth, all of those things in one space. Now, if that's somebody who is a well-rounded person who likes all those things, they're probably going to follow me. If, however, they just want to see the book life and they just want me to dial down on that, or if they just want to learn photo posing, or if they just want to learn how to do social media, they may not feel that I'm the right fit for them. And that has really stunted my growth. And that has really made it hard for some people to say, yes, I want to be with that person. And of course, we see the algorithms changing. There's ebbs and flows with that. Right now, we're seeing a huge dramatic difference between the algorithm of last year or even last month. People's views are changing, and that, of course, impacts this as well. Now, I've always taught that if you have different facets of your business, you should keep these things separate. I have been very, very adamant about that. And the sole reason that I combined these together was because TikTok specifically asked me. TikTok, who has more information than me. TikTok, who has watched other people do this. TikTok, who is examining what the Chinese version of TikTok is doing and what works for them and then implementing it into what we're doing. So I trusted them and I took their advice and I did try it. I do regret doing it. It is not something that I can really separate out as much right now. I would have to do a lot of different things, a lot of changes and a lot of backtracking, and it's just not going to work the way that I want. So I am very strongly more so focusing on one area than the other right now to try to revive it, to try to get things back to where they were. But I would stick to my original educational points and the things that I have long since been telling people to do, and that is to keep those things separate. The more niche down you can get, the more people are going to be able to identify, this is a person I need in this part of my life. If you have multiple things going on, it's going to be much harder for them to say yes to you because they may not find everything is valuable. So if they find a lot that's valuable in one niche, they're much more likely to follow you than if they're seeing a little bit here, a little bit there. They would rather go find somebody who specializes in those things. And if you don't have that separation of those things, it can work against you. And it has worked against me and many people who follow that advice. So here we are several years after they asked us to combine these things and to do these things because they had the information, and it is not something I would recommend that you do. It's not something that I wish I had done, but I did it because I was working so strongly with them at the time and I wanted to be a team player. I wanted to test it out. I was willing to test it out because I do test these things out for you. Right now, we're still doing really well over on TikTok, but of course, if you've watched our other recent videos here, you know there's another platform that's doing significantly better, both monetization-wise, view-wise, and community-wise. So we got lots of videos on how you can be growing on YouTube here on our YouTube channel, so make sure you are checking those things out and drop your questions down below. Follow along and, of course, head over to my TikTok so you can see what we're doing because I test things out there. Then I bring it back here to give you the results so that you know what works, what doesn't work, and what you should be leaning into right now, especially as new platform additions and changes come out with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and the other social platforms to help you to grow and make this your most profitable year ever. We'll see you in tomorrow's video.